all these random wild things happening in a mom's life with no time to actually catch up, with no time to actually decide what you're okay with and what you're not okay with, and what you can give up and what you'd rather not give up. Hi guys, I'm Danielle Hogan and this is Hogan Life. Thank you for joining me. It all started 17 years ago. Yeah, when I had my first baby. Will I ever be normal again? Will I ever look the way I once looked? And as the years pass and more babies come, you realize in your maturity that no, you will not look the way you once looked, per se. Not all of us. And yes, you will be normal, but it will a lot of times be a new normal that is filled with new experiences and changes in your body. So that all is a lot to handle. And then you put all that together and you stir it around in a large bowl and you throw in like sleeplessness, having to slave and cook and clean for everyone. And then there's the demands, the demands that little people place on you. And it's body, soul, and spirit. It's like your whole person is just on the job. And as the years go by, I'm not gonna lie, there's small bits of you that feel lost. And I'm not saying this as a, I lost myself in motherhood and anything like that, because I found myself in motherhood. Well, I found myself in Jesus, and then I found a purpose that is so God ordained in motherhood. So it's nothing like that. But there is those bits of losses that you don't always have the time or the reflection to reconcile or to navigate emotionally through. And so then at the other end of having children, you look in the mirror. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, will I ever just be happy with how I look, happy with who I am? At a certain point, maybe at my age, maybe I should be. And so that's how I started. And I decided to do The Biggest Loser. And not for the reasons that maybe everyone might be thinking. Maybe not for the obvious reasons. Lose weight, get healthier. Yes, those are all something. But I just started to think when I decided not to do The Biggest Loser. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Which, by the way, is like a health challenge that my gym does. Now, my sister owns a gym and she can be very persuasive. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. When I had originally decided I was not going to do that. No, not going to do that. It was because I was like, well, I'm working on being okay with who I am. This is the thing. Our whole culture is so a little bit out of whack with being okay with who we are. Like the time to be okay with who we are is actually should be now, like this moment. But it doesn't mean that there's not a lot of changes to be made, a lot of growth to be had. But the journey should start with us being able to see ourselves the way God sees us, to see that there is beauty and value in who we are, regardless of the imperfections, regardless of the extra weight or the adult acne, which I struggled with last year. Just like the variety of things that would make us feel self-conscious and bad about ourselves, that's not what truly gives us value. And so really our starting place needs to be accepting that God has given us value. He has called us his children. He has called us loved and beloved. And then from that point, we can look at ourselves through his eyes. I need to be okay right now, not because I'm skinnier, not because I'm fitter, and not because I have it all together, but because of who God's made me and who he's called me to be. And then, right guys, at this point, now where do I go? Now what do I do? So I'm like, why would I not do The Biggest Loser? Well, because of the possibility of failing or not doing a great job or giving up or, a myriad of things. The trenches of motherhood, even in their difficulty, there's a certain comfort zone that exists there. And I realize I have a serious comfort zone, and it's the cooking and the laundry in the house because, well, after doing it this many years, I'm good at it. And I don't mean I do it all perfectly and I'm on top of everything all the time, but that I know the starting place, I know the middle place, and I know the ending place. I know how to get back to where I need to be. There's a comfort level there. Doing things outside my home and doing things with adults and people who I'm like, what do I say? I could barely string 10 words together because I've been talking to children all day. I can't possibly sound intelligent right now. This is not the time to bare your entire soul, Danielle. So I pondered this, when I had the time. It's not that hard to find a little bit of time between 10 and 11 if no one is talking to you. And in my truthful moments with myself, I realized that. Dun, dun, dun. Part of my reasons for wanting to be just okay with exactly how I was looking was because of disappointment. I think that there's a lot of decisions we make that actually have a root in disappointment, and that's also not good. Disappointment because you felt like you've tried hard in the past and you haven't seen a lot of results. You've counted calories and given up foods and exercised like a maniac, and you haven't really seen much improvement. Now, I have made it a point in many areas of my life not to let past experiences and past disappointments come into my present, because then it affects your decisions and it affects your relationships. And especially in relationships, past disappointments are a really important thing to forgive and let go. So why should this be any different? There's the question also of my genes. I have these jeans. They're nice jeans, expensive jeans that my husband got me when I was in between children, and we had a season, I think, for 5 years that I don't think he knew what to get me. And so he would get me a pair of jeans every year for my birthday. And it's been a couple kids now that I have not fit in those jeans. After a certain amount of time goes by, you're like, maybe it's time to say goodbye to the jeans. Is it? Is it time to be like, sayonara, that time of my life where I wore cute clothes and just surrender to the reality that I'm a sweatshirt, stretchy pants wearing woman, and I'm okay with that? Or should I make one last-ditch effort just to see? Maybe I'll never fit in those pants, because I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's not just the extra fat, it's the bone placement. Like, your bones shift and you change when you have kids. And after 7 kids, I know that some of that's happened. In fact, I made it through a whole 6 before my feet grew. Yeah. But then eventually they did grow. So I am going to take you on this journey. I know that this is just the first week, and in 8 weeks, I guess you're going to hear from me. So embracing new experiences without fear, without that self-consciousness that makes you not enjoy anything. That's what I want. I want to be happy with who I am right now and eager to grow. And growth for me right now with 7 children, and for many of you out there, looks like making small changes that are positive for us anyway. So wherever we're at as moms, as women, as wives, to still be able to love who we are enough to really enjoy the moment, to give ourselves a little bit of leeway to try new things and to love new things. Rambling just a fair bit. Gotta work it out. Just let her ramble. To challenge ourselves, and even if we don't do as well as we could, to pat ourselves on the back because we gave it a shot, because we did something that wasn't in our comfort zone. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you join my community and just be a part of these fun conversations that we are getting to have with each other. Remember, no one can mom your kids like you. I'll see you next time.